where today we've got a vlog that's guaranteed to put the willies up you, because we are doing FEAR Avon for the first time. This is our first time here. We saw this because lots of people were talking about it last year on social media. Until then we'd never heard of it, but then we haven't really done many standalone scare parks before. So
no, didn't try, didn't we?
No. So it's very exciting to be here. This maze in particular, Malefica, got a lot of attention last year. It's won a couple of awards, and I'm very, very excited for that. But we're going to leave that to a little bit later. There's also 2 new experiences here. We've got one new maze, which is called The Core, which is part of an existing New Order trilogy of mazes that they have here, so that'll be interesting. I've heard horrendous things about Vita Nova, so we'll see how that goes. And there's also a brand new immersive experience, the Exorcism. So I don't really know a lot about it, other than it's an immersive experience. I think they say something about it mixing theatrical techniques with scare tactics, so that'll be interesting. That's an extra upcharge. That was extra £10, that was. But very, very excited, if not a little bit nervous, to experience that. We haven't got fast track today like we did at Dr. Fright's, because it's a bit more expensive here.
Yeah,
the mazes here you can go through more than once. You just get a wristband rather than other scare parks where they sort of stamp each maze as you go through it, and you only get one go. So it's probably going to get quite busy. The queues are probably going to get quite big, so we're going to try and bash some out early on. We're here at 5:30, which is the earliest slot, so hopefully we can get through a few whilst it's quiet, and then maybe even do a rerun or 2. We'll see. We like them. But first, we asked them on their social media. They did sort of like a Q&A thing, so I asked them what order is best to do the mazes in, and they said there isn't one really, but if you're not scared of clowns, you should probably start with House of Clowns. And we're not scared of clowns really, are we?
Not really.
So we're going to start with that one. Obviously, there's lots of clown mazes out there, so there's a lot to compare this one to. But we'll see how they do, and we will see you on the other side. It's a strong start.
Yeah.
I can tell you that much. That was a strong start.
The clowns were good.
I think before, when I said I wasn't scared of clowns, maybe I am. Maybe I am now after that.
Yeah, there were so many clowns in there, wasn't there?
Yeah.
And
chock full of actors. The strobing.
It was pretty much strobing all the way through.
Maze, yeah.
And I was thinking, how can they even see around here?
I'm baffled because there was one bit that was really dark, and then there was like strobing through most of it. But they're hiding out the corners and they're coming at you. And I'm just thinking, like, how? I don't understand.
And I loved all the UV as well. There's a lot of the UV in there.
I just think it's mad how they managed to work a space like that, because when you're walking through it, I can't see any. I don't know what is going on in front of me.
And I like the use of the classic clown music. They used that, like a remix of it. Yeah. And then there was like
similar
a bit
to the Big Top music from Thorpe Park.
Yeah,
it reminds me of that.
quite similar. Yeah. And then there was a bit where it was just flaps, wasn't it, everywhere? You're just walking through lots and lots of flaps.
It was. Again, similar to the Scare Zone at Extreme Scream, where there's just like red and white flaps everywhere, and so you don't know where the next scare is coming from in there. That was really, really good.
That was good.
As clown mazes go, that's up there. That's up there as one of the scariest, anyway. I'd say. And it sort of delivers that level of chaos that you want from a clown maze. And pumping music, and there's clowns running everywhere, and it was really good. I really enjoyed that.
It was a good maze,
So next, we'll go do the trilogy next, and I think it starts with X4. I think it's X4 Core, and then Vita Nova.
Right.
So I don't know. The stories of these are a bit confusing.
It's about a power plant, I think. When I read it online, something to do with a power plant.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll go in and we'll tell you what it's like afterwards. So we've just come out of X4 there. It started raining, as you can probably see. What do we think?
That one, it was okay. I've done much better scare mazes though. I think the theming of it, the props and the set was quite good. But as an actual maze, I don't...
the sort of nest. Without spoiling too much. Was really cool.
It was cool. I don't think it was as scary. No, the scares wasn't...
There wasn't as many jumps as there was in the House of Clowns. What I do like though is they were very good at actually going through the story and explaining the story before you get in.
Yeah.
Because there's quite often in horror mazes, unless you've read the blurb online, you wouldn't actually know once you walk in what the actual thing
so this
is.
one came with like a pre-show sort of thing, didn't it? Yeah, that was quite cool,
so
actually.
It's about these sort of creatures that they've found in the tunnels, and they've started extracting their DNA, I believe, to create some sort of hybrid human creature thing. I think that's what he said.
Yeah.
But it's hard to actually get to the end. And there's a lift section as well. Again, I won't spoil anything, but that was really good.
That was good. That bit was good. Yeah.
I feel I may have almost come out of that maze with a broken back.
I had to grit my teeth because it was making my teeth like smack together. I thought I was going to break them.
But yeah, a good maze, but not quite on the standard of House of Clowns, I don't think. So next we're going to go do the core, which is the second in the trilogy, and that is the new maze for this year. Replaced one that I think was called Anarchy or something like that. So that's a continuation from X4, it's a continuation of the story. So we'll see how well they explain that in the maze and see if they explain the story as well as they did in X4.
That's the core done now, and that was a really good one. I really did enjoy that one, actually. So it's the newest one that they've got here this year, and it's the second in the 3 trilogy ones that they've got. And yeah, that was a really good concept for a maze. Never ever had to wear waders in a maze before. Never
just dripped on me.
No. And never had to walk through water in a maze either, so that was really good, wasn't it?
It was like a sewer, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was
like
a sewer,
and you've got to get to the core. There was something wrong with the core, and you had to go down and explore and find out why it was erupting or whatever it was. He did say, but I think I was a bit too concerned.
It did come with a beginning story again, which was really good. But yeah, like going through the sewers, that's a really good idea for me. Something we've never seen before, and it was more scary than the last one we did, X4.
Yes.
There was a lot more jump scares in there, and the noises that the actors made were really creepy. Some sort of like clicking, sort of like I don't know what sort of noise you'd say. Yeah.
There were a concerning amount of steps in that maze though.
Oh God,
times where I thought I was just going to trip and just
so you do have to watch your step in there.
The sewage.
Yeah, you do have to watch your step in there.
Which I did not want to do.
And it did look like a real sewer until you touch the wall and feel.
Yeah, the walls were a bit spongy, but they looked like real brick. Like it all looked very, very, very good. It was a really immersively themed maze, and the water really added to that. It was a really, really good concept. I really liked that.
One thing about it that I think I think it wasn't as keen on is it didn't really have much of a finale, did it? Just sort of you just sort of walked out of it.
Yeah. I thought he was going to get. There was a bit more.
I did as well.
Yeah. So next is Vita Nova, which I'm just looking at because this is the third in the trilogy, the New World Order trilogy. They mentioned Vita Nova in X4, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
So this sounds like it's very much about getting citizens to adhere to the Vita Nova program, basically about conforming and not rebelling. So we'll see. I'm sure on their story someone asked a question and they said that it's a single entry maze.
Oh.
So I think that means you're going one at a time.
Really?
I hope not.
Oh wow.
I hope I've got that wrong.
Okay.
I'm sure that's what they put on their story.
Well, we'll find out anyway. Yeah. Ooh. We've done Vita Nova now, and do you know what? I really did enjoy that one actually. Yeah, that was a good one. That was a step up from the previous two. Yeah. Although I think the one we did before was more jumpy and scary. This one was more of the way it made you feel.
It was more about the atmosphere and making you feel uncomfortable because it very much played on sort of like fear of the dark, claustrophobia.
Small spaces.
That's what claustrophobia is. Being split up and sort of being on your own. It very much relied on those sorts of intimidation scares more than it relied on jump scares. Although there was a hell of a lot of mirrors in there, and I jumped at myself quite a few times. In fact, potentially jumped at myself more than I jumped at the actors.
Yeah, there was a few mirror rooms.
And part of it electrocuted me. One of the walls was like metal, and as I touched it, because I was feeling where I was going, it electrocuted me. And yours didn't, did it?
No, it
I was
didn't.
like, touch that wall, touch it now, touch the wall. And it didn't electrocute you, did it? I was gutted about that.
But there was a lot of elements to that, wasn't there? There was like crawl spaces, there was strobe rooms, mirror rooms, as we said, and there was them rooms where you get them inflatable walls, either side of you, and they're like really tight to come through.
Awful.
Yeah.
And then fog room as well.
Oh yeah, fog room. I forgot about that one.
In fact, in the fog room, a guy literally nearly put me in hospital. He literally came from nowhere. I didn't know he was there. I didn't know where he'd gone. Oh, we really got a good scare out of it.
And then there was that really bright room, which was almost so bright it was hard to see what was in front of you with the mannequins in it.
Yeah, that's the room. That's the room with the fog. And there was the fog as well. Yeah.
But yeah, good.
That was really good. I really enjoyed that one. I did enjoy.
It kind of reminded me a little bit of survival games at Foot Park, but I think it was a bit better. Not as jumpy, not scary, but I think there was more to this one than what survival games had.
I don't think it was that much like it, if I'm honest. Apart from the fact they split you up. But
yeah, and it was like mazy. Like different routes to take, and you're just getting dragged into different rooms.
Yeah, it is a bit of a multi.
A bit like Labyrinth, wasn't it? Yeah.
And yeah, they put you. Well, I won't spoil too much. We didn't end up on our own. Oh, we did end up on our own at some point. We didn't go in on our own.
No.
And on that one, we found each other quite a lot, didn't we? Whereas with other sort of split you up mazes, we've ended up losing each other for the whole thing, haven't we? But I did enjoy that one.
Yeah,
that was a strong one. I'm very happy with that.
Now there's only Malefica now, isn't there?
Pretty much the reason we came.
We've already seen the nuns wandering around.
Yeah.
So
we're going to go in, we're going to get harassed by nuns, and we'll let you know how it is on the other side. Oh my hair. Oh, so we've just come out of Malefica. That has got to be my favourite now.
Yeah,
that's
definitely.
Got to be my favourite.
That was so scary.
I'm not very good at when it comes to ranking things, but that one was, in terms of scares, that was a massive step up.
It was a massive step up to anything they've got here.
Yeah.
And the theming of that was brilliant as well.
Yeah.
Like the theming of it being like a church, and the nuns was really creepy and scary and. Oh gosh,
and they didn't just rely on it being dark, like they were still scaring you in the darkness, you know what I mean? Like it was, that was really good. There were so many good scares in there. They were really coming at us, and that was just phenomenal.
It's by far the best one they've got here, isn't it?
Yeah, easily the best here.
Of the 5 mazes.
Yeah, I mean, I've enjoyed them all. But that one is just in a different league.
Yeah,
definitely. It really is. There's just around every corner, there's just scare after scare after scare. And I love the theme of it. Can't beat a creepy nun, can you?
No.
Can't beat a creepy nun. And the ending, we won't spoil, but the ending was really, really good. We've said before about how it's often a bit of a mood killer when you sort of wander out. But that one was a really, really intense ending, and it was really good. I really loved that one. It's a shame because it's still on like 45 minutes because I'd like to do that one again.
Yeah.
Clowns are only on 5 though, and I did enjoy that.
Yeah.
So maybe do that.
I'd say that one and this one were like the best two here.
Yeah, I actually agree. I think they were both the best. So yeah, we might do clown because we've got a gap in between now and the Exorcism.
The Exorcism, yeah.
So we might grab a bite to eat, go redo clowns, and then we'll see you after we've done the Exorcism. Very excited.
We just did the Exorcist which you can see behind,
Exorcism.
Exorcism, which you can see behind us. So that is it's not a maze, it's a theatrical performance of a exorcism, as the name suggests. But that was good, wasn't it?
I loved it.
I really enjoyed
I absolutely loved that. That was really good.
The acting was really good.
Yeah, it was really scary.
Yeah.
It was like watching an actual exorcism.
Yeah, it was actually being in a film, wasn't it? Like when you see exorcisms in movies and on TV.
It smelled like a dusty old room.
Yeah.
And it looked like a scene from a horror film.
Yeah, it really did. It's
That
so
was
good.
absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
That was.
Yeah.
I really liked that, and it was scary as well, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was very scary. They've done really well with that. I really loved that.
One thing I did notice though is that when it goes pitch black, I noticed that you could actually see the when there was like exit in the room and stuff.
No.
So when the curtain would go back, it would shine a little bit of light in. So I noticed that I could see.
I could feel the floorboards, but you still didn't really know what they were doing. And there's, without spoiling it, there's loads of effects in there as well that are really well done. I mean, I don't know how they did a lot of it. If I'm honest.
It's quite jumpy, isn't it? As well?
Some of the stuff that was going on, I couldn't quite understand how they pulled that off. But it was a fantastic show.
It was,
I just think the only thing that would top it off is if they had a little bit of a maze at the end of it, just to sort of run through. Maybe if you had to escape from her or something. Was she called Emily Rose or something?
Something like that, yeah.
Evelyn,
was it?
Something like that,
yeah.
So I think if there was just a little bit of a maze just to run through at the end, because it was just sort of like, all right, that's over, get out, wasn't it? But other than that, it was phenomenal. It was really well done.
Brilliant.
I really loved that.
So our first time ever doing FEAR Avon, and it was a really good night, wasn't it? We had fun.
It was really good. Yeah.
I think there's some really unique attractions here, some really unique mazes, like the one where you're in the sewers. What was that one called? The car.
Yeah, I think for me, like into the top two in terms of scares were definitely House of Clowns and Malefica.
Yeah, definitely.
I think the other three, the New World Order trilogy, I think they're really good concepts, all of them, and they've got some really good elements to them. I just think they need a few more scares in them.
Yeah, because we've done much better scare mazes than them.
When we compare that to the amount of scares there were at Dr. Fright's, like it was just relentless. It never stopped. And in House of Clowns and Malefica, there was a good amount of scares, wasn't there?
There were a lot.
House of Clowns we just went back into in the dark. Obviously it's inside, but because it's in a tent, when we first got here it was still a little bit daylight, wasn't it? Yeah. So the light does leak in a bit. What are you doing with this camera? And then we just did it again in the dark, and it was a lot darker in there, wasn't it?
It was a lot darker.
The strobing was a lot more intense.
Yeah, there's some bits and I'm like, I can't even see where I'm going.
And it was really good, that run through, wasn't it? It's a really good dark run through.
It was. I did enjoy the House of Clowns.
The other three, I just think they need more scares, and they'd be brilliant. The Exorcism was fantastic. That was a great show. That was really cool, and unlike anything that we've seen before.
No, definitely not.
That was a really good show.
And then we watched the fire show, didn't we, at the end?
Yeah, that was cool.
That was really good. They run that every hour, on the hour.
And then they count it down on the
they do
where the queue times are. They count it down anyway. So even if you can't remember when the next hour is, it will tell you anyway. That was good because there's like the fire and all they have all the Roman actors up there dancing.
So it's like they're having a dance battle, isn't it? Is that the
they have some sort of fight, but on the screen they sort of introduce all the characters from the mazes. It must be updated every year because they had Evelyn Rose from the Exorcism. She was in there. So they introduced all the characters from the maze, and they've got this cool little laser effect on them on the video on the screen.
Kind of looks like they're in a cage, doesn't it? But
like
it's all
lasers, and the fire, I mean that is the correct amount of fire for a fire show, isn't it? That was really good.
You could really feel the warmth every time it went up.
Yeah, getting a bit toasty. But yeah, it's really cool, and that's on every hour, so it's easy to catch, isn't it?
So it's quite a good attraction, isn't it? So they've got the mazes, they've got the Exorcism show, they've got the fire show. And then they've also got rides, fairground rides, stalls.
We didn't have a look at them. I mean, we wouldn't have had time to go on them anyway. So I don't know how expensive the rides are. If you do, I know if you buy the RIP pass, you get the rides included. So top tip, and that comes with fast track as well. In terms of fast track, I would say if you can afford it, I would go for it. Especially if you visit it on a weekend, because we managed to get through. We didn't queue for House of Clowns. We queued about 20 minutes for X4. We didn't really queue for the core, did we?
No.
But then by the time we sort of got to the core, everything was going up to 45 minutes, and they stayed there for most of the night. House of Clowns comes down again. If you haven't got fast track, I would say prioritise X4 or Malefica, because they get the biggest queues. They were the ones who were 50 something minutes. And I would definitely leave House of Clowns, because I mean it was on half an hour most of the day, and then by the end of the night it was back down to 5 minutes.
We walked straight in that at the end of the night.
So yeah, prioritise Malefica or X4, and then leave House of Clowns to last, because that will always have the shortest queue. And at 5 minutes you can just rerun it a couple more times at the end of the night as well. It was really cool.
It was.
So yeah, big. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. That was a really good night. Some really strong mazes, and some really unique concepts as well. Really cool. And the water wading was definitely something that I can tick off my list as something weird that we've done. We are going to Extreme Scream Park, which we've been to twice before, and we love it. It's such a good park. We absolutely adore it. So subscribe to us, turn on notifications if you want to see all that content, give us a like, drop us a comment on your thoughts. If you've done the Exorcism, I'd really like to know what you think about it. And we will see you next time we do stuff.